northwestern part of the country and around 350 kilometers from the capital. It's Rajshahi. It's very neat and clean.
Mhm. Well, how long have you lived there?
Well, I have been in living here for around 15 years because I was a student at my university and now I have been teaching here at the same university. So I have been living with my family.
Hmm. Okay, let's talk about your hometown or village. What kind of place is it?
Actually, it's very neat and clean and well decorated as well. Most of the family members and neighbors are amicable in behavior, and they are very uh, cooperative and helpful enough. We can communicate with each other without any reason, and beside this, we have to contact and we have to organize several social events in every of the month.
Hmm. Okay. What's the most interesting part of your hometown?
So it's really a tricky question, and I think the most important issue is the people. The people around us are very amicable in behavior, and they are very cooperative.
Hmm. Okay. Now moving on, quicker topic. The topic will be describe a time, describe describe something you own which is very important to you, and you should say where you got it from, how long you have had it, what for what you use it for, and explain why it is most important to you.
Uh, Thank you. Uh,
You want to start right now?
yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me count the time. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Well, I would like to talk about the very not crucial. I would like to talk about very influential topic, which I belong to, and actually, I have got gift of my 18th birthday from my father. Though I was anticipated and speculated from early of my childhood, some of my friends also owned it, but I prepared on the time and counting and saved some money to buy a laptop. But unfortunately, that was not so much, and I didn't do that. Interestingly, when I turned into 18 years old, my father bought a laptop to me with the financial assistance of some of his colleagues, and that made me very chaste. And I usually use this laptop for my I every issues of my digital world for browsing social networking sites to my academic issues. And nowadays I have been applying for several universities and hard and soul trying to communicate with my professors and as well. So this is the digital area or arena in which I have entered in this world. So it's very influential and potential for me, and I would like to do better with the assistance of my this laptop in near future. It's actually it's very important for me because I have been doing around 80% of my tasks with the help of my laptop.
Okay, let me check out the time. Yeah, 2 minutes 8 seconds. All right, now moving on for three. Do you have any hobby?
Definitely, I think every people have their hobby, and every people has their hobby, and I like most to travel with my family and friends.
What are some of your hobbies?
Actually, I don't get spare time, but when I get it free time, I used to walk walk in the morning. Beside this is going outside, eat for restaurant or fishing. And beside this, when I get much time, I usually intend to go abroad with my friends and family members to dedicate the whole day or a week long time.
Mhm. When did you first develop this hobby?
It's really a tough question for answering me because as far I guess from early in the childhood when I grew up in this society with some people's noticing some people's hobby, it raised in my uh, blood, I think.
Mm, okay. Uh, what are some of advantages of having a hobby?
Uh, yes, it's really a tricky question, but if I can discuss about pros and cons, hobbies can and give us an ultimate goal of fulfilling our dream from the monotonous world. Uh, Beside this, hobbies can regain our energy and power, etc., to concentrate on our everyday's activities. Beside this, is if we talk about the negative effects of hobbies, it can give us more dreamy world, which is not possible in real world. So one people can imagine imagine this world as what I can say, a bed of roses, which is not always true.
Okay. How much time do you spend on your hobby?
Actually, it's really tough for me because as I go through, I don't get spare time to maintain every day. But when I get time, and it's really tough to count me on how many minutes or times or hours I can spend.
Mhm. Okay. That is the end of your practice now. So let me share some few observations to you. You have used the amazing word amicable, but you have used this word more than two times. So instead of that, you can use amicable
Friendly.
is a word that is similar to brotherly, or the most, very smart
Friendly, yeah.
word is fraternal.
Oh yeah, paternal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you heard that this word fraternal? Okay, let me
No, no,
fraternal.
no.
Yeah, that is fraternal. Yeah, this word fraternity. I
Oh,
mean the sense of,
fraternal,
yeah,
fraternal.
that's
Okay.
the sense of community.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Fraternal. That is means amicable. All right.
Oh yeah.
And you have used. Let me just put it on the chat box. Yeah, can you see that on the chat box?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've noted down some word. You have used amicable. Yeah, that is absolutely fine. Instead of that, you can use modest, fraternal, brotherly, cordial. Okay, you have used very, this word,
Yeah.
frequently.
This
Yeah,
is
you can use
yeah.
quite, extremely, enormously, colossally, and actually. You have used this word also several times actually. So you can also use in fact, originally, the way I see, or basically. And it's really a tricky questions. So yeah, this is a very good filler, but in every, in every context, will not be allowed to use this word, because when the topic is something going with your interest or hobby, that is that is actually creating some, some amazing feelings inside, in your heart. In this case, uh, we cannot say, it's a really tricky questions. Rather, we can say, wow, it's a bit mazy questions. Mazy means it's a really interesting questions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when the topic will be something like asking your opinion about climate change, about political situations, or about giving any strategic decisions for developing something else. So in this case, when the topic is totally unknown to you, but you have to say, in this case you can say, yeah, it's a bit tricky questions for me, but I would rather say. But when the topic is quite interesting to you, then you can say it's a bit, wow, it's a bit mazy questions, or it's a bit interesting questions. Okay, so these are the thing. But overall you did very well. I mean, the fluency is very okay, and you have used a lot of several amount of idiomatic expressions, and also you have used fillers, new vocab, and answering the questions was very relevant. Okay, now I think it's your turn. You can ask
Yeah.
me.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay now.
Okay. Okay. I can start here. What's your name?
Well, my name's Abid Hassan, and you can call me Hassan as it appear in my passport.
Do you think hobbies are good for you? Tell me about your most favorite hobby.
Well, to be honest, hobbies can play a vital role for energizing every human minds. So I'm not exception of that. I have few sort of hobbies. Among them, I think fishing is one of the most fashionable hobbies in my nature. And if I get sort of free time or leisure time, then I just go for fishing without thinking much.
Do you have any extracurricular besides academic ones?
Yes, certainly. I have several amount of involvement in extra co-curricular activities, except of my academia. Among them, hosting of cultural event, debating, or involving myself in social activities, and expectations like blood donation, distributing of warm clothes in winter, l- importing educations for the slum children. So these are the things.
How do you consider extracurricular activities help students?
Well, to be well, by the end of my understanding, I believe that boosting the hidden talent uh, cannot come from only reading books, rather involving involving anyone, involving thyself in divergent of social activities and some voluntary activities and participations. So these combined efforts, I mean, these combined skills can make people talented, and it can help enormously to boost up the hidden merit.
Okay. Do you think your job is affecting your family?
Well, mm, uh, it's a bit, the complicated situations, and I'm in two minds in this case. Where I'm working right now, the job is giving me much freedom, and there is an ample chances for maintaining the work-life balance. So I'm enjoying this job very much, but instead of other cases, I mean, to my colleagues, a few number of my colleagues, they are not satisfied with their job because they have some different switching mode. So it totally depends on the personalities. But in my case, I'm happy with my job and as well as maintaining my family life.
Well, uh, pretty good. Now, this is a Q card topic. Your Q card is about an important festival. What it is, you need to describe. Uh, how do you celebrate? Why do you like it? And how does it influence people? Okay.
Well, well, uh, okay. First of all, in my country, it's considerably known to the world people as the most warmly hosting country. So we are very polite in nation, and we are usually having to celebrate a lot of occasions in our country, and to value our core customs. The first day of the starting of our own academic calendar, that is called in local term the Bangla New Year. I mean, this is the first day of the Bengali New Year. So celebrating this day is enormously, enormously interesting, and people are more voluntarily engaged in these occasions to celebrate the entire occasions. So it is very important to not only in individual life but also in the national life, because to value this day, the state government has declared already this day as a public holiday. So people from every sort of corners, I mean, from every class, they actually participate this occasion or event willingly, with much pleasure and interest, and there is no discriminations for celebrating this day especially. And this day is observed having with colorful processions, having festoons, banners, writing our own words that can express the best pictures and reflections of our cultures. And on this day, this is the meaning of enhancing the fraternity, and people are inviting their neighbors and nearest and dearest to celebrate this day, and they are getting together, having lunch or dinner, gossiping and sharing their minds, especially people who are very busy. This is a day to
Okay.
meet their
Your
their
time's up.
Okay.
Yeah, time's up. Well, what are the important festivals in your country?
Among the important festivals, to be frankly to inform you that different sort of events that comes from religious values, and also different sort of customs that come from core values. And instead of that, our country is not it's a secular country. So almost all kinds of customs, religious values and celebrations are important equally.
What's the important food and activities are connected to this festival, the most important festival?
Okay, as I go through celebrating the first new year of Bengali New Year, this is the one of the most important festivals in our cultures. Apart from of that, uh, uh, different religious festivals like Eid al-Fitr as a Muslim, and for the other religious persons, their core festivals are also important for celebration.
What special foods and activities are connected with this festival?
Oh, I see. Okay. In case of celebrating the first New Year, Bengali New Year, especially our traditional food, I mean the water rice and the hilsa fish and vegetables
Well,
are the most suitable food item.
why festivals are more important for a country?
Well, first of all, festivals can be an optimized chance for making people together, and it can enhance the brotherly feelings among the people. And second one is that uh, it can actually it can actually extend the reflections of the historical influence of our culture. For that the today's culture is actually originated. So all these things,
Okay.
the things that it can help people to be united.
Well, and this is the end of your speaking test. Uh, as I go through, you did well in your speaking examination, and you may get 7.5 in this way. Most importantly, you have used several what you can say vocab and the pillars. And beside this is you have when you discussed about the q card topic,
Mhm.
I think you were not you had uh, more better chance to concentrate on the questions, because questions were are describe an important festival in your country. What's it? You have
Mm.
mentioned what's it. How do you celebrate? That means you celebrate. You that means maybe that depends on your people, but it mostly in IELTS examination it determine you means
Me.
basically you. Okay, and then why do you like it? Why it's important, or why you prefer it,
Mm.
and how does it influence people? You made some important options regarding how does it influence people, but we need to keep in mind that when we discuss about the q card topic, we need to discuss about uh, with some synonyms, or mostly which can touch the key answers of the questions.
Mm.
But you have described hugely within in a lump sum amount of time, with short span of time, but
Mhm.
you described more than my expectation, but that was the chance of describe the key issues of the
Mm.
questions. And I think this is you are well enough, and you are organized enough to beat in upcoming examination in IELTS speaking test.
Okay. All right. All right. So now I think we can start another session, right?
Is it speaking?
Yeah, speaking.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, two session can start. We can finish.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting asking you the first questions. Well, what's your name?
Thank you. My name is MD Mamun Abdul Qayyum, as it appears on passport. My
Mhm.
family and friends call me Mamun, so you may call me Mamun if you prefer.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about everyday task and activities. What time do you usually get up?
Uh, Honestly speaking, I mostly get up early in the morning, and after that, I may pray I pray, and after that, I usually go outside for walking half an hour to keep my body fit and to accelerate my blood to accelerate my blood circulation. And after that, though my everyday life is not so glamorous, but usually I take my shower and go take my shower and breakfast. After that, I go to my office and spend and around till 5 p.m. With several activities, academic activities
Well,
like
uh,
conducting classes or
well,
taking preparations. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
What are some things that you do every day? Special.
Since in fact, since I have been working in a teaching profession, I am bound to do some regular academic activities like conducting classes, preparing for those, and assisting in co-curricular activities is assist to my motivate my students to generate new knowledge through conducting research, etc. These are the cup of tea. This is a cup of tea of my life, everyday life.
Hmm. Cool. Now let's talk about unpaid or volunteer work. Have you ever done unpaid or voluntary work for a company or an organization?
Yeah, several times in my university life and college life. From early in the childhood, I am used to and passionate to do such kind of activities. And in my university life, I also lead several organizations, voluntary like debate organization, journalist organizations, and Rotary Club, and so many organizations I lead to cooperate the other people to like blood donation, ample of activities I did it like a blanket distribution for among poor people, etc., etc.
Okay, that's pretty good. Now it's your Q card topic. The topic will be describe a big company that you'd like to work in, and you should say what kind of company it is, what the company does, how you know about this company, and explain why you are interested in working in this company. So you will get 1 minute for taking preparations. And after that, you're going to start your speaking, and I will stop you when it will end up the time.
Well, since once in a blue moon, I used to visit several organizations or got chance in working several organizations. But I have a dream. You may think it's my dream, but it's really my dream job to work with Google. Google is the largest organization, that means company, multinational company, which works with technology, and it's the largest organization. What that we can say nowadays we can't think without Google all a day in our digital world. And what we can say from early in the morning to the midnight, when we are touching this is the mobile phone or laptops or digital technology, we are bound to enter it from translation and to mapping or to send requests to my professors, or whatever I want to discover or I want to get in my hand, then Google is the essential part of our life. So I basically learned a lot from early of my childhood from my father. He was a very intelligent person, and he knew well about the digital technology. And beside this, my one of my close friend, and his name is Julkar Nine. He has been working there, and sometimes I talked with him about the environment of his office in USA, and it really cherished me. It really sometimes cherishes me, and help me to know about the feature of his office, which really enormously eh, enormously encouraged me to do such kind of job. And beside this is I want to do such kind
Okay.
of job
Uh,
as a
time's up.
communication expert. Yeah.
Time's up. All right. So we can move on. Now it's part three, and let's talk about the job satisfaction. Which do you think is more important for most people, job satisfactions or a high income?
Uh, in fact, though, this is a tricky question, but I reckon it depends on personality. Because if we consider mm, about about our lifestyle, we are habituated to do in teaching profession, and we have no dream to make huge money rather than job satisfaction regarding our daily activities. Besides this, if we consider about a businessman or a multinational company employee, mostly they concentrate on making more money rather than job satisfaction.
Cool. Okay. If people are unhappy with their job, do you think they should quit and look for a new job?
It's really what I can say. Yes, I think sometimes when people can face several troubles in an organization, the first and foremost they need to tackle or overcome such problems fastly, and
Mhm.
then I would like to suggest him or her to get another chance without stopping there, to get another chance to another organization.
All right. Okay. What are some reasons why people often lose their jobs?
Honestly speaking, uh, uh, I'm not I'm not expert in this regard, but as I can gauge, some people can lose their job for committing several criminal activities, like disposes as internal information to the outsiders. Meanwhile, this is the problem to when a people can fulfill the employer's expectation regarding the jobs. And last but not the least, I can consider about the attitudinal problem with the employers.
Okay. Should people who can't get a job start their own business?
Definitely they can do, and this is really a prevalent inclination in this time, because some of our relatives and friends and family members have been doing such kind of business or in making their entrepreneurship, and they have been doing well, and this is they can do it very independently, and they can make some options in creating jobs for other people as well.
Hmm. Okay, I think that is the end of your practice. You are most welcome. So, basic observation is that you have used several lexical resources. I mean, especially the idiomatic expressions, having a lot of synonym and tonym. And I liked especially using very smart fillers. And you were quite prompt for answering in Q-card topics along with the questions on third part. So pretty uh, plausible. I appreciate your evaluation.
Okay. Okay. Now this is your part. Okay.
Yeah,
This is your time.
yeah.
What's your name?
Well, my name's Abid Hassan. You can call me Hassan as it appears in my passport.
Well, why do you think English is a necessary language to learn?
Certainly, to be honest, English is quite pervasive in this world, and mostly getting a higher degree as well as a lucrative job in overseas and spending daily life. Everything's is essential for living on English. Without English, it's quite impossible to lead on this. What I actually mentioned the tasks.
Why? Well, what's your opinion about living with a family after higher secondary?
Well, if I'm not wrong, then I would rather say living with a family is a very good option for spending quality time because living in hostel, there are a lot of advantages in these aspects, but I think having a secondary level student, there is quite need for monitoring their activities as well because they're not matured good enough. So I think living with a family is a good option.
Well, uh, what's your academic qualification? Why do you pursue your higher education?
Well, currently I'm doing my doctoral degree in Tongji University that is located in China, Shanghai. But before that, I've completed my grad and postgrad in my country in the second largest university, that is Rashtra University, and currently in my doctoral degree, research, teaching, counseling are a cup of my tea.
Uh, what's your most favorite subject in academic life and why?
Well, I've completed my grad and postgrad doing major in marketing. So, starting business and management are very interesting, interesting cup of tea in case of choosing my preference for studying. So,
Well,
I think management can be a good option.
what's the most difficult subject you were afraid of in your academic life?
Oh, I see. I guess I feel afraid of sharing my experience when I took econometrics uh, econometrics as my core subject for going for opting my research activities. So when I started econometrics, it was horrible things because a lot of formulas, theories, and equations are really just going over my head. And on the
Well,
time, I felt that I was bouncing my head against the wall.
okay. Now this is your cue card topic. You will get 1 minute for preparation and 2 minutes for this description describing the whole issue. Uh, your cue card topic is your favorite film or TV program. You need to talk about what kind of program was it, when you saw the film or program, what's the film or TV program was about. Explain why this film or TV program has made such an impression on you.
All right. Uh, Well, to be honest, I'm not a coach potato in case of watching television since I do not get much time due to my professional reasons and study purpose. But instead of saying that, I would rather say kind of detective events and programs I like most. Among them, Crime Patrol, that is broadcasted from India. I like that program much because in my opinion, I believe that detective or thrilling or adventurous programs can actually enhance the logical and critical thinking. So this is my personal opinion. I don't know about the others' opinion. It might vary from person to person. But I think because in my doctoral study, I have to engage in maximally critical thinking and finding the clues of unknown things. So all those for serving this purpose, I think spending my time on watching detective programs, especially the Crime Patrol, that helps me a lot for going ahead of my thinking. And in many extent, I've found a lot of solutions aligning this detective event with my study. So I believe, in short, every person's have their own personal choice for watching their own program, but in my case, detective program or adventures or hilarious program can help me to enhance my critical thinking and regional argumental skills. So yeah, some people are very much fond of their watching their sports programs because of it can energize their mind and refresh their activities, and it can also put up their full effort into their normal activities.
Okay,
So
time's up. Time's up. Okay. Now this is part three topic, and your do you think cinema has increased or decreased in popularity in recent years?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your questions.
Do you think cinema has increased or decreased in popularity in recent years?
Well, the way I see, I'm in two minds in this case because this is the age of information and technology. This is the age of Netflix, and people are watching movies sitting their home by surfing Amazon.com and along with uh, other the video streaming web portals. So going to cinema theater has been reduced considerably. So I think the traditional format, going to movie theater, having a large audience and having a large seating arrangements, or going for a shopping mall. So I think in future it can be reduced considerably. And on the other hand, watching cinema, enjoying some entertaining moment, uh,
Okay.
having their
Okay.
own decorum, it will be
Oh,
enhanced.
okay. What are some disadvantages of a real life event in film? What are
Is it
the advantages of making film of real life events?
well? To be honest, people are much more concentrative and they're very choosy. Those kind of entertaining programs that can actually convey some messages that can be best similar with their lifestyles, and also they can align all the messages carried from the cinema or programs with the social activities. So making kind of program or events or documentary that can reflect the real time or real life's uh, context, that can be
Okay.
best fit to the larger number of audience.
Okay. Uh, what are the disadvantages of making art film or documentary?
Okay, if I go straight, then I can say documentary is not a cup of tea for every sort of audience. So making documentary, having a lot of investment can be very risky, because if the audience, the target audience is very limited in size, because it cannot be commercially successful, though it is not a commercial purpose. but reaping at least the investment is very important. So in this case, documentary is not for the large audience, it's a very specific audience. So in this case, financial losses, in many cases it can demotivate the producers and the filmmakers, if they cannot see at least the financial core investment
Okay.
recovery.
Okay. How important do you think it is for a filmmaker to remain true to the original? Okay, should films and TV be censored, or should we be free to choose what we see?
Okay, all right. Though I'm not a man of letters in this case, but in my opinion, uh, I believe that censoring of any sort of entertaining program is important, because every content is not applicable for all kind of audience. So some contents are very restricted for adults only, because there are some masses and there are some exhibitions that can only applicable for adults, and some are very specified and classified to the only the the kids. So I think
Yeah.
censored is very crucial in this aspect.
Uh, Tell me some disadvantages of censorship.
The first disadvantages, in my opinion, can be, it can actually be a good source and very big source for financial losses for filmmakers, if the contents and plot are not go with exactly the rules of the censorship board. So uh, portraying the exact plots and climax cannot be often possible because of the strict rules of censorship. And second one is that it can derail some motivations of filmmakers, because there are too much regulations on censorship. And third one is that very crucial, that is some people, they can take personal interest. I mean, the people
Yeah.
who are in on censorship board, they can get some money
Okay.
in this
Okay.
case.
How do you think censorship laws will change in the next 20 years?
Yes, I believe there is an ample chances for rejuvenating the rules and regulations in case of censorships, because people are nowadays watching movie, not only going for this cinema or theater. They are also collecting movies from different sites of websites. So virtually people are getting a lot of contents. There is no age restrictions, and there is no the content restrictions. So I think a state government can apply some strict rules in terms of in terms of playing the representative role of the censorship board, both in the traditional in a traditional format as well as on virtual format.
Okay. And this is the end of your speaking test. You did well. You have done well in your speaking test. I would like to suggest some topic regarding the cue card. You were requested to talk on the point topic, because QCAR topic is very crucial, and within 2 minutes you need to cover all the question answer.
Mhm.
So I think it's detrimental uh, to 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 talk more about outside of the topic, outside of the topic. So you need to concentrate the whole issues, because I asked you about the topic, and the last question: why this film or TV program has made such an impression on you? Then you
Mhm.
can talk three or four issues, like if I talk about Titanic movie,
Mhm.
then and we can talk. I have learned a huge issue. Like one of the issue is money is not a matter. Whenever whatever money is not a matter when it loves when and loves when love come from my mind, because Rose and Jack were different on considering their social status. but
Mhm.
they can make love.
Yeah.
And second issue uh, whatever your condition is demise or death is the credible and is the only option of our life being. We can't escape from death. And another issue is we can talk about uh, uh, sin. That means women body is not a matter of enjoyment or other issues.
Mhm.
So no, we have seen several issues regarding our core heart feeling of love in
Right.
this is in this cinema, and there is no any nude picture in this cinema. So we can realize that without any nude picture of women body, a cinema can be popularized in great way. So
Mhm.
and when we need to talk about advantage or disadvantage, when we need to describe several issues, then since we have limited time, we need to talk very briefly so that we can talk, we can discuss two or three or more issues. So I think this is the way. But otherwise, you have done well
Mhm.
in terms of resource and in terms of pillars, in terms of other issues you did well actually.
Ah, I
I
see.
think what we can do now,
I think we can do reading,
reading it will take 1 hour, but I have
writing.
uh, writing we can do. Otherwise, when you will be free?
I'll be free 4 to 5, 4 to 6.
4 to 6, is
Yeah.
it? Okay. And then
And
after
then
after evening,
after evening, I have a research class on 6:30, from 6:30, and that will be around
6:30
3 hours.
to
3 hours.
wow.
6:30.
Then that will be difficult to manage your time after 11
Yeah,
or
yeah,
10. It's
yeah.
really tough. So that I will try to manage sometime. Otherwise, we can do that in this way. We will just give me a reading topic and writing topic so that I can manage my issue and share with you, and
Mhm.
you can do
Also
this
do,
is in the
yeah,
meantime, and you can send me.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. I have shared the
writing.
the link in WhatsApp, so we can
Yeah,
start
yeah.
from there in practice
Oh, yeah.
test one.
Okay. Okay, then I will start, and I will give you by 8 or 9 p.m.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, sure.
so that we can cover one module in one day. So
Mhm. Yeah,
whenever we can sit
yeah.
it at together or not, but we
We can
will
finish at least one
yeah, yeah,
one
one module,
speaking
one,
test. I
yeah,
mean, no,
one
one full module.
one module, yeah,
Yeah.
one full module.
Okay,
Okay,
then,
brother,
brother.
thank you for your valuable time.
Yeah.
And I think if we can consider this is within around 1 month,
Mhm.
that will
Help
enormously
us.
help
Yeah.
us.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, brother.